again, I welcome you all to our YouTube channel Engineering Shiksha. So in this lecture, we are continuing with some more example that is based on first order differential equation. It means that we are going to discuss the transient in RL and RC circuit for this particular lectures. So target audience for this particular lecture is again the same, that we are going to cover undergraduate and diploma students, those who are studying in electrical, electronics and IC branch for their semester examination and their NSEM examination preparation. And we are also planning to cover some more aspect that is related to your GATE examination. So this is also beneficial for all those students who are preparing for their GATE examination or maybe some other competitive examination. So let's start our lectures. So this is what that we discussed in our last class also, that if you are having a first order differential equation, then your solution could be a dx by dt plus px equal to q. It means that whenever we are having a RL or RC circuit, and when we are applying KVL and we want to try to finding out the voltage or maybe possible current, at that time our expression could be a first order differential equation. So whenever we are having a first order differential equation, we can solve by solving this or utilizing this expression. This is the solution of this expression, that is dx by dt plus px equal to q. So if you are having this equation, then solution of this variable x, that is equal to e raised to minus pt integration q e raised to pt plus k e raised to minus pt. Remember that here your x could be anything, that will be depends on your variable that you want to calculate. For example, maybe possible this could be a voltage, or maybe possible this could be a current. Let us proceed further. So this is the step that we are going to follow in our class or in our example. First of all, we will draw the equivalent circuit for t0 minus time. T0 minus time means just prior to switching, so few microseconds before the switching, and we will calculate the voltage or current whatever asked in our example. After doing this, we will draw the equivalent circuit for t greater than 0, and we will apply the KVL or maybe possible combination of KCL and node voltage analysis. So if we have to ask to calculate the voltage, during that time we are going to apply a KCL and as well as the combination of KCL and node voltage analysis. And whenever we require to calculate current, most of the time we are going to apply a KVL. So whenever we are applying KVL, our equation could be in form of dx by dt plus px equal to q. It means that our equation is first order differential equation. So whenever we are having first order differential equation, we will directly utilize the solution that we obtained in our previous class. So we will use that generalized solution of first order differential equation. When we are solving this first order differential equation, we are having one constant k, the value of k that you have to calculate by considering your initial condition. It means that you have to consider initial condition. It means most of the time it is t equal to 0, and when you are calculating the value of that constant k, and if you put in your generalized solution, that answer is known as a particular solution. Now let us start our today's first example. This is the example. In this series RL circuit shown in figure, the switch K is closed down position 1 at time t equal to 0. You have to pause this video and you first of all read this example carefully. Okay, so I will proceed. So let us say your switch is moved, your switch K is closed down at position 1 at time t equal to 0. This is very important. You are closing the switch at time t equal to 0. Okay, and your switch is moved from position A to B at time t dash, that is equal to how much? That is equal to 50 microsecond. So you have to obtain the transient current for two cases. The first is the interval between 0 to t dash. It means in between 0 to 50 microsecond you have to obtain your expression for current. And second one is that t must be greater than t dash. T dash means 50 microsecond. The most important thing, if you observe this example very carefully, you are actually closing the switch at time t equal to 0 at position 1. It means that, let us say, if I am saying that I will close the switch at, let us say, morning 7 a.m. It means that my example is also start, okay, here at morning 7 a.m. only, and I have to calculate all the parameters. This is not like in our previous case. What exactly happened in previous case? We close the circuit and we will put the circuit. Okay, and after that, after some times, okay, after a very long time, for example, just I am saying that I have closed the switch at, let us say, 7 a.m. and we are observing our parameter, let us say at 9 a.m. We are doing the switching and then we are calculating everything. But right now in this particular case, if you observe very carefully, we are closing the switch at time t equal to 0 only. Okay, so it means that this is the switching time t equal to 0, and inductor, okay, come in contact with the energy, both are same. Okay, this is the synchronized. So you can say that inductor will behave as a open circuit at time t equal to 0. This is very important. Most of the time in our previous or some example that we have discussed, whenever we are closing or whenever we are changing the switch position, and whenever we are discussing, let us say at time t equal to 0 minus, right, at time t equal to 0 minus. So in this particular case, most of the time our inductor behave as a short circuit. The reason is that previously inductor was charged, but right now the thing is that when you close this circuit, this is the first time inductor will come in influence with energy first time, and because of that this inductor will behave as a open circuit. Okay, though I'm not saying that this is at time t equal to 0 minus, okay, because you are closing your switch at 7 a.m. so just prior to 7 a.m. what is the situation? Nothing will happen. So let us say exactly at t equal to 0 time. Okay, I'm just rubbing this exactly at time t equal to 0 means exactly at 7 a.m. What is the situation? The situation will be look like this, right? You are having, okay, this is my situation. You are having 100-volt source. Okay, switch is in position 1. Okay, you are having one resistance which are having value 1000 ohm. And what about this inductor? This inductor is behave as a open circuit, because for this inductor this is t equal to 0 time. Remember that this is the time when inductor come in contact with the energy first time. So if I'm going to calculate the current for this particular case, what I can obtain? I can obtain, let us say, I0 minus. That is equal to, how much I0 minus? That is equal to, this is open circuit. So I can say that I0 minus is equal to 0 ampere. Now let us discuss about our interval. That is, let us say, at time t equal to 0 plus time. So at time t equal to 0 plus time, so this is my situation at time t equal to 0 plus time. So my inductor will start charging, okay, and this is my equivalent circuit. So now let us apply KVL. So whenever we are applying KVL, we will get the equation, that is first order differential equation. So let me start with this. You are having, let us say, 1000 ohm. So this is your 1000 ohm, multiply with your current, let us say I, plus now you have to finding out the voltage across inductor, that is L di by dt. So this is 0.5 di by dt minus 100. So if you take the minus 100 on right hand side, you will get 100. Remember what we require? We require our equation should be in form of di by dt plus pi equal to q. This is not di by dt, this is 0.5 into di by dt. So to get that particular form, we are multiplying with 2. So what we are getting, di by dt, I am multiplying with 2. This equation, let us say equation number A, I am just multiplying with 2. Then 2000 into I, that is equal to 200, right? This is my equation, that is in form of di by dt plus pi equal to q. Now if I am going to calculate the value of p in this equation, then value of p, that is equal to 2000. And what is the value of q in this particular case? That is equal to 200, right? So now let me write down my variable. You must have to be remember this equation. I is equal to e raised to minus pt. The value of p is right now 2000. Okay, so e raised to minus pt integration q. The value of q is 200. Then e raised to pt, that is e raised to 2000 t, plus k into e raised to minus 2000 t. Okay, now let me simplify this equation. So this is equal to e raised to minus 2000 t 200 is constant, so let us take out of integration. Now take the integration of e raised to 2000t. So this is e raised to 2000t. This is the integration of e raised to x. Now let us integrate your power. So you will get divide by 200 plus k into e raised to minus 2000t. So let me simplify this. This is e raised to minus 2000t. This is e raised to plus 2000t. That is equal to 1. 200 divided by 2000. So I will get that is equal to 1 by 10 plus k, then e raised to minus 2000t. This is my current I of t. This is generalized solution. Remember, right now we are discussion is only between 0 less than t less than 50 microsecond. Okay, this is my interval that we are considering. Our switch is in position number 1. Okay, so this is I of t, that is equal to 1 by 10 plus k e raised to minus 2000t. Let us say I want to calculate the value of k. How I can obtain the value of k? I have to put, let us say, initial condition. So let me consider the initial condition, that is my t equal to 0. If I will put the value of t equal to 0 in this equation, what I will get? I of 0, that is equal to 1 by 10 plus k e raised to 0. Okay, so I of 0 means current exactly flowing at 7 am. Okay, what is the condition exactly at 7 am? We already calculate right now. Okay, so let us say I of 0 minus. Okay, that is not I of 0 minus. You can say that that is equal to I of 0. Okay, because 0 minus means what? That is before the switching, but before the switching there will be no any energy. Anyway, so just after the switching, current flowing through inductor, that is equal to how much? 0 ampere. Okay, so exactly at 7 am or just after 7 am, in both the cases, current flowing through inductor, that is equal to 0 ampere. So let me write down here, that is 0, that is equal to 1 by 10 is 0.1 plus k. So it means that value of k that I can obtain over here, that is equal to minus 0.1. So let us put this value of 0.1 in this equation. So what I will get? My I of t, that is equal to 0.1 minus 0.1 e raised to minus 2000t. So if you take 0.1 common, so you will get 0.1, 1 minus e raised to minus 2000 and t. This is my equation for current. This is my particular solution for the duration, that is 0 less than t less than 50 microsecond. Okay, this is quite simple, right? So this is the expression for 0 less than t less than 50 microsecond. Okay, so exactly at 0 interval, this is the situation. Current is 0 ampere, right? Then current will, or inductor will start charging and current will build up, and this is the expression I of t, that is equal to 0.1, 1 minus e raised to minus 2000t. This is the expression between 0 to 50 microsecond. But remember, it is not mentioned that whether in 50 microsecond your inductor will attain a steady state or not, but you can calculate by just whether you are having a value of r, you are having a value of l. So by calculating your time constant r by l, you can calculate steady state condition. But I am right now not calculating, but in next slide we are calculating the current, and based on current you can also guess that actually you are not attaining the steady state value. Okay, because whenever you are attaining the steady state value, okay, in that particular case you are having 100 volt and this inductor will behave as a short circuit. So 100 volt divided by 1000 ohm, so your current must be equal to 0.1 ampere. Then you can say that you have attained a steady state value. Okay, but within a 50 microsecond, you put the value of t equal to 50 microsecond over here, you calculate, you will not get a 0.1 microsecond. It means that I am not actually attaining a steady state. Anyway, that we will discuss slightly later on. Now let us discuss our third part of example, and that is very important. That is t greater than 50 microsecond. So at t greater than 50 microsecond, actually you are changing the switching position from position number 1 to 2. It means that now my switch is moved from position 1 to 2. Okay, remember, most of the time what you are doing, you are at t equal to 0, you change the switching position from 1 to 2. Now at t equal to 50 microsecond, you are changing from position 1 to 2, and within a 50 microsecond, your inductor is not fully charged. Remember, this is the most important point that you must have to remember in this particular case. So let us say this time that is mentioned in your example, that is t dash, that is equal to 50 microsecond. So in this example, I will consider, let us say, t minus t dash, that is equal to capital T, where t dash is equal to 50 microsecond, right? Let us say I'm considering 55 microsecond. So exactly right now, what is the time for this particular case? That is t equal to, or you can say that t dash equal to 50 microsecond. Let us say I will charge this circuit for another 5 microsecond. So though my time is equal to how much? That is 55 microsecond. But effectively, connection for this particular case, that is equal to how much? So that is 55 minus 50 microsecond, that is equal to 5 microsecond. Okay, so now I'm considering the capital T, that is my new variable. Okay, in previous case or in most of the example, what could be happen that we are doing our switching at t equal to 0 microsecond. Okay, and that's why that will be not slightly, or that will not be that much complicated. This could be slightly complicated, but we will solve it. Okay, so let us proceed again. So now let us apply KVL in this particular loop. So what I will get, we will start again. So let us say this is your 1000 ohm, it is multiplied with, let us say, some current I, plus voltage across inductor, so that is, let us say, di by dt, that and this is plus 50. If you take it on the right hand side, this will become minus 50. So be careful, this is having a plus sign at this terminal. Okay, so this is minus 50. So sorry, L di by dt, so this must be a 0.5 di by dt. So now again, let us say we are multiplying this equation with 2. So what I will get, that is, let us say, di by dt plus, if you multiply, this will become 2000 I, that is equal to minus 100. So if I am comparing this equation with our generalized solution, that is dx by dt plus px equal to q, what I will get, the value of p, that is equal to 2000. And what could be the value of q here? That is equal to minus 100. So now let us apply a generalized rule here also. So that is I is equal to e raised to minus pt. So value of p is equal to how much? So let us say that is 2000, and minus pt. Okay, and here I'm using capital T because capital T represent my t minus t dash instant, where t dash is 50 microsecond. Previously this t dash, or you can say that your switching instant was 0, and that's why you are having slightly less complex equation. Okay, anyway, this is e raised to minus 2000 t integration minus 100 e raised to pt. So e raised to 2000 t plus k e raised to minus 2000 t. So let me further simplify this. So I will get my current I, that is equal to e raised to minus 2000 t. Okay, then minus 100 take out of integration, then e raised to 2000 t and divide by 2000, sorry, 200 t plus k e raised to minus 2000 t. So my I of t is equal to, this is e raised to minus 2000 t, this is e raised to plus 2000 t. So that is equal to 1. What about 100? And this is 2000. So this is, I will get minus 1 divided by 20 plus k into e raised to minus 2000 t. This is my expression for current. I of t, that is equal to minus 1 by 20 plus k e raised to minus 200 into t. Now this is only one difference between our last some example and this example, is that this example, or you can say that this section, is actually started at interval 50 microsecond. It means that what is initial condition right now for this particular expression? This inductor is charging with new energy level. Okay, and the charging or your starting interval, that is equal to 50 microsecond. Okay, it means that in this particular expression, if I want to calculate the value of initial, or you can say that if I am interested to calculate this value of k, what is the condition that I have to observe, or what I have to put it over here? I have to put the value of t that is equal to 50 microsecond. Remember, if you put the value of t that is equal to 0 microsecond, it means you are actually shifting from this status, right? And this is what your current is 0, but no, exactly what you are doing, you are actually energizing this circuit at 50 microseconds. So it means that I have to come back again at initial condition that is equal to what? 50 microseconds. This you must be remember. So it means that if I will put here, okay, so I have to write down my current I, that is equal to the value of current at, what is the time interval? 50 microsecond. I have to put it over here. The value of current at 50 microsecond, that is equal to minus 1 by 20. So I can say that that is minus 0.05 plus k into e raised to minus 2000 into 50 microsecond. Remember? Okay, so let us say I have to calculate I that is equal to 50 microsecond. Now this is also important part. How to calculate the current at 50 microsecond? Remember what exactly you are doing. This is your situation. This is the interval at t equal to 0. You are closing the switch, current is 0. Then after that, between 0 to 50 microsecond, this is your circuit. Okay, and current will follow this expression, that is 0.1 1 minus e raised to minus 2000 t. This is the expression valid for the duration 0 to 50 microsecond. After 50 microsecond, current will flow current will follow based on this equation, right? So what is the current at exactly at 50 microsecond? You are having expression, you put the value of t equal to 50 microsecond in this equation. So you will get what? Your current at exactly 50 microsecond, and just after 50 microsecond and just before 50 microsecond. Current in case of inductor will remain same. So let me utilize this equation. Then I, okay, that is at which instant? Let us say final instant. I at, let us say, 50 microsecond, that is equal to 0.1 1 minus e raised to minus 2000 into 50 into 10 raised to minus 6. So I will get the value of current I in this particular case, that is equal to 0.00951 ampere. Okay, so it means that at exactly 50 microsecond, my value of current I, okay, this is I at 50 microsecond, my current value, that is equal to 0.0951 ampere. Remember, I have also mentioned slightly, just some time back, I have mentioned you that if my inductor is fully charged within a 50 microsecond, then what could be the value of current in this particular case? The current should be equal to 100 divided by 1000 ohm. It means that I can get the current that is equal to zero point 0.1 ampere if I can attain the steady state. But my value of current is not 0.1, it is 0.00951. It means what? Okay, let me write down. Let us say this is the situation, and maybe possible you will attain the steady state. Okay, this is the time when your current will reach to zero point 0.1 ampere, but right now current is 0.0095 ampere. It means that you are somewhat here, and you are here, you are not actually attaining the steady state, and before that you are applying some new condition. Okay, it means that this is my new condition. Okay, so in this particular case, I have already calculated the value of current at 50 microseconds. So let me put down the value of current in this particular equation. So let me write down 0.00951, that is equal to minus 0.05 plus k, and e raised to minus 2000 in 2000 into 50 into 10 raised to minus 6, that is equal to 0.906. So value of k that I can obtain, that is equal to 0.06. Now put this value of k in this equation, so we'll get your final expression, that is I of tau, or sorry, I of capital T, that is equal to minus 0.05 plus 0.06 e raised to minus 2000 t, where t that is equal to t minus ts. Okay, where capital T that is equal to my time interval t minus t dash, where t dash is 50 microsecond. Okay, so this is my expression for current for greater than 50 microseconds. So this is simple. The only thing that you have to remember here is that the main important part is that you have to put the value of t that is 50 microseconds. This is just a slight complex thing. Okay, remaining thing will be, you can say that we are just following our conventional step that you can utilize and you can finding out your answer. And the thing and the second thing is that this example is actually divided into part. Okay, so that's why you can feel it is slightly lengthy. So this is my end of this example. Now let us discuss the next example. Okay, and this example we will solve with second method. You can also use our same method, but if you solve this example with second method, it could be a slightly, you can say that it will reduce your time and it will also reduce some step. Okay, this is also known as a direct method, and most of the GATE examination and most of the student in GATE examination will solve using this method. So what is this method? Let us discuss first. So in this particular case, this is my second method to solve the differential equation. So in this case or in this transient analysis, your solution should be always equal to your total solution. Okay, that is equal to your final value. Okay, whatever the variable that you are going to calculate plus initial value minus final value. The difference between initial value and minus final value, that should be multiplied with e raised to minus t divided by tau. What is tau? Tau is your time constant. So tau, that is for, you can say that RL circuit, this is your L by R. So let me write down, this is L equivalent divided by R equivalent. Why I am writing down equivalent? Because maybe possible whenever you are having more resistance, whenever you are having single resistance or single inductance, you can say that tau that is equal to L by R. But whenever you are having more, let us say, complex network or complex, you can say that you are having so many numbers of resistance and inductance. At that time, this method is very helpful, and this could be, you can say that, reduce your time drastically whenever you are solving this. Okay, anyway, so remember your total solution, that what we are obtaining till date, that could be equal to your final value plus initial value minus final value into e raised to minus t divided by tau. If you finding out here also, this is your initial value, this is your initial minus final value, and this is your e raised to minus t by tau. This is same. Okay, so steps are same. You can also utilize the same step, but here my intention is also to demonstrate you some another method, and that could be helpful when your circuit is very complex. Okay, so in this particular case, the tau that is equal to L equivalent divided by R equivalent if I am having RL circuit, and if I am having a RC circuit, then it is R equivalent into C, or if you are having more capacitor or more capacitor in the circuit, then R equivalent into C equivalent. So this is the first step that you have to calculate. So it means that if I am having, let us say, inductor current. Okay, so if I have to calculate inductor current, then ILT that is equal to IL infinite. So this is your steady state, final steady state value. Then this is your IL0 plus minus IL infinite. So IL0 plus means your time at instant when you are actually connecting your circuit. Okay, this is your switching time. So this is the current at switching interval, and this is your final value, that is steady state value, into e raised to minus t divided by tau, where tau that is equal to L equivalent divided by R equivalent. Or maybe possible if you, let us say, your second case, that is your, let us say, RC circuit. In that particular case, your tau is equal to R into C, that is R equivalent into C equivalent. So if you are having, let us say, capacitive circuit, you can use this expression, that is VCT that is equal to VC at infinite. This is your final steady state value plus VC0 plus. So this is your value of voltage across capacitor when you are doing the switching. Okay, exactly at your switching instant, minus VC infinite e raised to minus t divided by tau. So now we are solving our one more example by utilizing this two expression or by utilizing this method. Okay, not two expression, maybe possible we require only one expression. So this is the example that we are going to solve now. In the network of figures, steady state is reached with the switch K is open. So it means that my switch is open and steady state, I have attained the steady state. And at time t equal to 0, this switch K is closed. Okay. So it means that at time t equal to 0, I am closing this switch. So I have to find out the current in the inductor for t greater than 0. So in this particular case, we are trying to solve our example directly. Directly means we are utilizing this equation. Our total solution, that should be equal to final value plus initial value minus final value e raised to minus t divided by tau. And this is inductive circuit, so it means that I am utilizing this equation. ILT, that is equal to IL infinite plus IL0 plus minus IL infinite e raised to minus t by tau. Okay, so now let me write down what we are doing. Let us say we will try to find out initial value. So it means that we will start our example with at time t equal to 0 minus. So at time t equal to 0 minus, I am closing the switch at time t equal to 0. Okay, so just before the switching, my switch is open. So it means that this branch has no effect. Okay, so you can remove this. And second thing is that what is the condition of this inductor? It is mentioned that steady state is reached, right? Here it is mentioned that already steady state is achieved. So it means that this is t equal to infinite. So what is the situation at time t equal to 0 minus? Okay, so at 0 minus time, your switch is open, right? And inductor is attained steady state. It means that my inductor will behave as a short circuit. So I have marked here, let us say short circuit. And let us say I want to calculate the current that is flowing through inductor. So this is my equivalent circuit. So this 3 ohm and 3 ohm, that is total 6 ohm, is in parallel with 3 ohm. So you can say that 6 ohm, that is in parallel with 3 ohm. So if you simplify this, you will get 2 ohm. So my equivalent resistance for this particular case, that is 6 divided by 2 ohm. So I will get, let us say my current I, okay, IL 0 minus, that is equal to how much? So that is equal to 3 ampere. Okay, because this is 6 volt divided by my equivalent resistance here, that is equal to 2 ohm. So 6 divided by 2, so I will get my current that is flowing through this particular case, that is equal to how much? That is equal to 3 ampere. So if we remember our equation or our target equation, so this is my equation, right? What we have to calculate? We have to calculate IL infinite. It means the current that is flowing through this branch. Okay, so this is our expression for ILT, that is IL infinite plus IL0 plus minus IL infinite e raised to minus t by tau. So in this case, we already solve one parameter, that is IL0 plus. How it is so? We have calculated IL0 minus, and we know that IL0 minus and IL0 plus both will be same because current flowing through inductor before the switching and after the switching both are same. So that is equal to how much? 3 ampere. So it means that we have already calculated one parameter, that is IL0 plus. Then our target, or we want to calculate tau also. Tau also, that is equal to what? L equivalent divided by R equivalent. So L equivalent, there is only single inductor. So you can say that L equivalent, that is equal to 2 Henry. So one parameter that is clear, that is L equivalent. So now we are having only two variables or two unknowns, that is R equivalent. So we want to calculate R equivalent, and second one is we have to calculate IL infinite, that is steady state value. So now let us try to calculate those two variables, that is R equivalent and IL infinite. If we are having these two variables, we will put our all these calculated variable in this example, in this equation, then we can calculate our total solution. So now let us focus on how to calculate R equivalent. So this is my circuit, right? So I want to calculate the equivalent resistance in this particular case. So what I have to do, I have removed my voltage source, okay, and I also remove the inductors value so that I can calculate R equivalent between this terminal. So let us mark this terminal as A and let us mark this terminal as B. So let me draw here so that we can calculate R equivalent circuit. So let us say this is my terminal A and this is my terminal B. So in terminal A, there will be one resistance, let us say 3 ohm is connected. Okay, so there will be a 3 ohm resistance connected between A terminal. After that, there will be a two branches, one is 3 ohm and second one is 6 ohm. So let me draw here 3 ohm and second one is 6 ohm. And they all are combined together and that will connect it to B terminal. Second thing, this B terminal is also connected 3 ohm. Okay, so A terminal and B terminal, between A and B there will be one another resistance, that is 3 ohm. So let me draw here, and this is my 3 ohm. So what could be the equivalent resistance between A and B terminal? This is 3 ohm and this is 6 ohm. So equivalency will be 2 ohm. So this is 3 ohm, this is 2 ohm. So 3 and 2, that is equal to 5 ohm. So it means that if I will simplify this, I will get, let us say this is A terminal, this is B terminal. So I'm having 3 ohm plus 2 ohm. So this is my 5 ohm. And another one is, let us say 3 ohm. So this is my equivalent circuit. So it means that R equivalent, that is nothing but equal to 5 ohm in parallel with 3 ohm. So this is 5 3s are 15 divided by 8. So now I am having another variable, that is R equivalent, that is equal to 15 divided by 8. So now our target is to calculate only IL infinite, that is the current that is flowing through this particular branch at steady state condition. So let me draw the equivalent circuit. What is the condition at IL infinite? IL infinite means steady state, again the new steady state value. Okay, and in that case my inductor will behave as a short circuit. So this is my equivalent circuit. If I am obtaining, or if I am calculating the current that is flowing through this branch IL, then I can say that is also equal to IL infinite. How it is? So the simple thing is that this is my source of energy, right? This is my circuit. In this particular case, this inductor will behave again as a short circuit, and as switch is already closed, you can say that this is new steady state value. Okay, when my inductor is behave as a short circuit, and this is the current if I am going to calculate, that is IL infinite. So in any method you can use, let us say you can apply 3 KVL equation, 1 KVL in this loop, second KVL in this loop, third KVL in this loop, and when you are solving this equation, current flowing in this particular loop, that you can say that that is equal to your IL infinite. Okay, but what I am doing right now, I am doing, let us say I am calculating by applying node voltage analysis, and I am, let us assume some voltage at this terminal, let us say VB, and I am applying a node voltage analysis, and I will calculate the voltage between these two terminals. It means that what I am doing, let me simplify this. I am considering here one voltage source, okay, and that is having, let us say 6 volt voltage source. Let me write down, this is plus and minus, and I will calculate the voltage between this terminal VAB. So it means that what I am actually doing, let me simplify this. Actually I am doing, let us say I am calculating Thevenin circuit. Okay, I Thevenin, that is equal to V Thevenin divided by R Thevenin plus RL. Okay, so I'm considering this branch or this inductor branch that is equal to my load resistance. And remember, right now the situation is that my RL that is equal to 0. Why I'm considering RL that is equal to 0? Because RL is what? This branch resistance. And right now inductor behave as a short circuit, and inductor itself is my load resistance. If it is behave as a short circuit, it means that resistance of inductor is 0. So it means that I Thevenin is nothing but equal to V Thevenin divided by R Thevenin. Okay, remember why I am using this. Why you are not applying, let us say some another equation, like you are applying 3 KVL, you can do this. But we already calculate R equivalent, and R equivalent is what? Equivalent resistance between this terminal A and B. So if you already calculate R equivalent, so then you have to calculate Thevenin. V Thevenin is what? Voltage between this terminal VAB. It means that you calculate the voltage VA. Okay, this potential is ground potential, right? So it means that you have to only calculate voltage VA. Okay, VA minus 0, that is your VAB, or you can say that V Thevenin. So you are having V Thevenin. Okay, your RL is 0. You already calculate R Thevenin. So you can utilize this expression. So let me draw the circuit. So this is my circuit to calculate V Thevenin. Remember, okay, so this is my circuit to calculate VAB. Remember, this is just open circuit because I want to calculate voltage. Okay, you don't have to be confused that, sir, why you are making this inductor open circuit. No, inductor is short circuit, but I want to calculate the potential difference between these two. So I am using Thevenin theorem, and what we are doing in Thevenin theorem, we remove the load circuit, and that's why I am removing this load part. Okay, so let me calculate VA. So now let us apply, or let us assume this node is having some voltage, let us say VB. Some current is flowing through this branch, let me say I1. Some current is flowing through this branch, let us say, so let us say some current is flowing through this branch, let us say I2. What is the current that can be flowing through this branch? I3. Okay, that is 0 because it is ultimately open circuit. Okay, so I can say that for this particular case, I1 plus I2, that is equal to 0. What is I1? I1 is VA minus VB divided by 3 plus I2. I2 is current flowing through this branch. So this is VA and potential at this node is 6 volts. So this is VA minus 6. So let me write down VA minus 6 divided by resistance, that is 3 ohm. So VA minus 6 divided by 3, that is equal to 0. Okay. So if I will solve this equation, I am having a two variable, that is VA and VB. So let us further simplify this. So you will get 2VA by 3 minus VB by 3 minus 2, that is equal to 0. So here you are having two variables. So you have to apply a second node voltage analysis to get the second equation. So let us say we will consider, let us say some current is flowing through this branch, let us say I1, some current is flowing through this branch, let us say I2, and some current is, let us say, flowing through this branch, that is I3. So I can say that I1 plus I2 plus I3, that is equal to 0. So what is I1 for this case? That is VB minus 6 divided by 3. What is I2? That is VB minus 0 divided by 6. So that is VB divided by 6. What is I3? That is VB minus VA. So potential difference is VB minus VA divided by resistance, that is 3. So this is equal to 0. So now I am having two equations. Let me mark this is equation A, and let us say this is my equation number B. If I will solve this two equation, I will get the potential difference, and if I will get the potential difference, I know what is I Thevenin, that is V Thevenin divided by R Thevenin and plus RL, but RL is 0 right now, and we already have a value of R Thevenin. So let us focus on this parameter only, that is V Thevenin, and that is my potential between VA and VB. So let me simplify this. So I will get a VB in terms of VA. So let me write down directly, that is VB, that is equal to 12 by 5 plus 2 by 5 VA. So now I will put this value of VB in this particular equation. So I will get 2 VA by 3 minus 2 minus 1 by 3. Instead of VB, I can write down this. So this is 12 divided by 5 plus 2 by 5 VA, that is equal to 0. So it means that if I will simplify this, I will get VA, that is equal to 42 divided by 8. So this is my VA, and this is also potential difference between VAB because the VB is 0. So I can calculate I Thevenin, that is also equal to current flowing through inductor. And what is the situation right now? That is my IL infinite, that is equal to voltage between that two terminal, that is 42 by 8 divided by R equivalent, that we already calculate, that is 15 by 8. So let me write down here, that is 15 by 8. So this is 15 by 8. So finally my answer should be 42 divided by 15, and that is equal to, this is equal to 2.8 ampere. Okay, so my final answer, now let us calculate the final answer. So let us say ILT, that is equal to, okay, my expression is, should I write down here, that is IL infinite, then IL 0 minus IL infinite and e raised to minus t by tau. Now we are having all variables. So let us start to put each and every variable. First of all, IL infinite, it means steady state current, that we have calculated, that is 2.8 plus, now 2.8 initial value, that is 3.0, right? This variable we already calculate. So 3.0 minus 2.8. So this is 0.2 into e raised to minus t divided by tau. So value of tau, so we have to calculate R equivalent. So what is tau? Tau is your L equivalent divide by R equivalent. So L equivalent is your 2 and R equivalent is 15 by 8. So this is my 16 divided by 15. So let me write down this value. So divide by 16 divided by 15. And if you further simplify this, you will get 2.8.2 e raised to minus zero point 0.9 e raised to minus 0.9375t. Okay, this is your final expression. So student, remember, most of you peoples have asked me to solve this two example, right? This is unsolved example from UA Patel book. The main problem is that you may be possible you are not getting the answer because in UA Patel also this answer was slightly different. This is 2.3 and this is zero point 0.7. I have verified this all example in MATLAB simulation and check this. The final answer, that is, this is your correct answer. That what I feel. Okay. Still, if somebody will finding out some mistake in my example, you can correct me. Okay. So with this, I hope you can enjoy this lecture, and I also wish you all the best of luck for your next exam. Thank you.